Well, everybody, and welcome to Trig podcast of Joey and Goso TV, where we are going so what? The weather's got you down. The brakes in your car, they don't even work anymore, bro. You're looking at your wallet at that waistline, man, wondering what is going on around here. Don't worry, Goso Nation. Let's spend the next few minutes talking about grace, talking about joy, talking about Goso. What the heck is Goso means joy? Today, here's the Trig podcast of Joy, David Trig Show. I want to first make sure that you can hear me just fine. Leave me a comment below, a thumbs up. Let me know if you can hear me, if you can watch the video, if everything's sounding good. You can hear La Salsa. I love this song. It's sort of our theme song here for the David Trig Show. Also for the whole family, where every day, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m., 9 a.m., 10 a.m., something like that. Más o menos, we come on here live. And now look at my cool new set. I've got some icons here. I got my Be de Burro back there. Use your head, because I'm telling you, Be de Burro, you got to use your head sometimes, people. I'll tell you all about that here in a second. But I want to talk to you today about how to manage your time when you're unorganized, when you are a very disorganized person. You know what I'm talking about, my dear Goso Nation. But before we get into that part of the show, I want to go to my favorite segment of the day called the Chiste del Día. This is the joke of the day. Because remember, this is Goso TV. So every day we give you a fun joke of the day. Here we go. This is called Blessed Are the Redneck. It's not as bad as you think. Don't worry. The pastor says, "What's wrong, Bubba?" Bubba says, "Pastor, I need you to pray for my hearing." The pastor put his hands on Bubba's ears and prayed, "Lord Jesus, in the name of Jesus, may you return the hearing to this man. Hallelujah." And when he was done, the pastor asked Bubba, "So, Bubba, how's your hearing?" "I don't know," said Bubba. "My hearing's not till next Tuesday." It's not till next Tuesday. Que burro. That's what I'm calling. I'm telling you. Be de burro right there. But let's go on to another one. Okay, maybe you'll like this one better. All right, here we go. This one's called Let Us Cuss. I'm telling you, it's not as bad as it sounds. Okay, so just relax. This one says, Gary was having a yard sale. A minister bought a lawnmower from him, but returned it a few days later, complaining that it didn't work. "It'll run," said Gary, "but you have to curse at it so that it gets started." The minister was shocked. "Brother, I have not uttered a foul word in 30 years. "Oh, just keep pulling on the rope. It'll come to you." Oh, man, how many men out there or women can relate to that joke? I have one of those lawnmowers. It's just not good. But I'm telling you, my dear friend, I always want to just tell you how fun it is to be here with you. I want to just say hello to all of my Goso paraphernalia. Hello, Goso family. Let's see, how is my Goso mug here? Hello, Goso head. Let's see how today's coffee here is. I like that. I also have my big coffee mug with more good stuff in there. I also got my Goso bell. We ring that every time that there's something awesome. We drop the mic and we ring the bell. I also got my Goso bracelet, which is always great to wear so you can feel protected like Wonder Woman. And remember also, we got the Goso trophy so that you remember that you are a winner. And the joy of the Lord is really our strength. And remember, of course, the best part of this whole thing is the Goso hat. And remember, so the purpose of this show is to bring you joy, to bring you, obviously, a little bit of joy and laughter combined with the joy of God, of Jesus and his love for you and for me, so that you can realize that you don't have to be a boring old man or a bitter old woman to be in love with God. And so today I want to talk to you, my dear Goso friend. Here, first, before I get into that, let me just see the live stream, see if everybody is hearing me fine. Let me know in the comments below. Remember that the purpose of this show, it's not a one-way street. It's not just for you to listen and watch, but it's for you to interact with me. If you know me, if you're here in the area, if you only know me online, I know we sometimes have maybe just one or two people watching, but it's okay. Sometimes people watch later. Sometimes people watch in the moment. Don't feel like, oh, I'm the only one watching. I don't want to be like that creeper or that only, the only guy that raises his hand. It's okay. Come into the live stream, regardless of where you're at, and let me know. Especially, here's the question of the day. The question of the day today is, what is your morning habit? What is your morning routine usually like? Do you wake up and work out? Do you just rush out of the house to your job, just grabbing a toast and a cup of coffee? What is your normal routine in the mornings? And we're going to be talking about that today on this special show, talking about how to manage your time when you're not very organized. So I have 5 tips that I want to go over. So here we go. This is called the message of the day, the message of joy. 5 ways to manage your time when you're not very organized. Has it ever happened to you, my dear friend, that you really want to accomplish a lot of things, but you're just not a very organized person? You have a lot of ideas, a lot of visions and desires, but you can't quite put everything in its place. And so what ends up happening is that you don't do the things that you want to do. So you feel discouraged, you feel down, you end up eating too much or spending too much time on Netflix or maybe sleeping too long. And the things that you really want to accomplish, go to the gym, eat healthier, have more time with your family, they end up in the back burner. So what can you do if you are a disorganized person to organize your life? Now, let me say one thing. If you are a very organized person, we need you to leave a comment below and give us, the rest of us who are not very organized, some hints and some tips on how you organize your life. So here we go. Thank you for the hearts, by the way, and for the likes. Thank you so much. Here we go. Number 1, if you want to manage your time better, but you're not very organized, number 1 is you got to set deadlines. So setting a deadline is the best way to organize your life. Anything in life that is up to chance or that has no deadline will never get accomplished. Because of our busyness, because of all the things that we need to do with our time these days, unless you have some sort of basically a drop deadline, something that you have to do, you just won't do it. Because if you would do it, you wouldn't need a deadline. So what I recommend is to don't set deadlines for everything, only for the things that you are avoiding, that you don't want to do. So if you need to call that person or have a conversation with someone, you need to call the insurance company, you need to call your school, or you need to call for a job interview, and you're delaying it, you're not organizing yourself, you have to set a deadline and say, by this date. And what I recommend is don't just say a date, actually put a time stamp on it. So Friday, let's say April 5th by 8 a.m. It really is how school works. And this is where I get this particular idea from. The reason why school is so difficult, or maybe why some people excel at it, is because of those famous deadlines. You got to turn in your projects by a certain date. And so everything works backwards from there. And if you don't turn in your assignment by that deadline, then you lose points, you have consequences, you feel bad. All of that is actually useful. I used to be one who avoided deadlines. I used to think I'll get to it when I get to it. But guess what? If you're not a very organized person, you're going to need deadlines. Deadlines focus you on a specific date and time, and you begin to work backwards from there. And then if you pass that deadline, avoid moving that date over and over again. What I would say is limit yourself or limit your rescheduling to only one time. So set a deadline, and if you reschedule it once, you're good. But if you reschedule it twice, what I recommend is get rid of that goal, because it's something that you're just not ready to accomplish. Man, that is some good Gospel truth right there. We ring the Gospel bell. Number 2, this is also a very important tip on how to manage your time when you're not very organized. Number 2 is write out your whole process. So in other words, when you have a goal or something that you're wanting to accomplish, you want to manage your time when it comes to spending more time with your family or going out to the gym, you need to actually write out the steps that you're going to need to do before you get to the gym. So for example, if it is going to work out, You want to start with, what am I going to wear? What are the shoes I'm going to wear? Do I have a membership? Is my car, does it have gas in the car? Do I have gas in the car? Is that maybe you're going at 5 a.m.? Am I going to go to bed then at 9 p.m. the night before? And then that means I have to stop watching TV at 8:30 so I can wind down, or I need to not go out to get food at 10:30 p.m. because then that'll affect you the next day. If it's maybe where you're trying to meet with more people and you're wanting to spend more time with your friends, work backwards from there. You say, okay, what's the process? Well, that means I have a date. But then that means that the day before, I need to check in and confirm with my friends. Hey guys, are we still on for tomorrow at lunch? Where are we going? Can you send me the link to the restaurant or to the place where we're meeting? If it's something related to work, you want to talk to your boss and you're avoiding talking to your boss because it's scary or you don't feel confident, set a deadline. Tell the boss, can we meet Tuesday at noon next week? So you have a date. Now you work the process. So if you're going to talk to them, you want a raise, let's say. So then you want to begin to think through, what does that mean? Well, that means that first you have to write down what you're going to say. You have to get clear on what you've accomplished. You want to think through, what is he going to tell you as reasons why you don't deserve a raise. You want to get clear on how much of a raise you want and give the reasons why. And then you want to maybe write down your thoughts on what happens if he doesn't give you a raise. Are you going to quit? Or are you going to hang in there? Are you going to give him an ultimatum that by a certain date? Or you just have to kind of walk away and try it again next time? My point is that you want to have a process going into that deadline so that you don't just walk into that deadline, or as it approaches, you're just thinking about nothing. You're just worrying and it's just some date out there that's stressing you out. That's number 2. Number 3, if you're tuning in late, these are 5 tips on how to manage your time when you're not very organized. So let me first stop here and check what we're looking at here on Periscope. Hello, Periscope. Let me just see if we have, the stream is looking good. It looks great. Let me go to YouTube. It seems like it's an awesome stream going on there. So everything is looking positive. Everything is looking great. Let me just check here on Facebook really quick. Wonderful to see that stream looking really solid, and the new set, everything is going awesome. We don't have a lot of people right now live. I know it's kind of later in the day on a Thursday, which is probably like the busiest time of the week, but I want to at least record this so that you can watch this later today and learn from some of these tips. Okay, number 2 was write out your process. Number 3 is seek an accountability partner who is organized, and share your deadlines and the process with them. So an accountability partner simply means that you're going to now share your deadlines and your process with somebody else. That accountability partner cannot just be anybody. It needs to be someone who actually is organized so that they are thinking along those lines. If you share your goals with a disorganized person that's maybe as bad as you or worse than you, let's say your wife or your husband isn't very organized, maybe your best friend is a mess just like you are in terms of organizing your life, don't have them as your AP, your accountability partner, because guess what? They're not going to be thinking about those lines, about those things along those lines. They're going to just say, hey, you're good, you're great, don't worry. You need someone who's opposite of you. So if you're someone who is more of a big picture person, make sure that your AP is someone who's more linear, who's gifted in administration and in systems and in managing things, so that they can be an actual partner to you. And their brains are going to be activated. They're going to be excited to actually help you get organized. Now, what I would also recommend is look for someone who has your back. Make sure that you're spending, or that you are giving that privilege to someone that you trust. Don't go and be crazy and ask someone who you hardly know to help you with this, because they're not going to care, or they might say something that'll hurt you, and then you'll never want to get organized ever again. So find an AP who's organized, and then what do you do with that person? Well, you want to share your deadlines and your process with them. So maybe they can write them down for you. Maybe you want to talk to them about it and they can take notes. Maybe almost like an administrative assistant, or just simply tell them, can you just hear me out? And what are you hearing? Can you give me some feedback? Now, those people, the APs, don't have to be your your assistant. Maybe, that's not quite the right term. They're not there to help you per se. I mean, if they want to, that's great. But really, they're just someone to listen and maybe to record what you're saying and keep it in front of you. Every week say, hey, here's what you told me. How is that going? It's up to you to fix it. It's up to you to do it. They're not your boss. They're not your manager. But it's just someone who will remember to remind you of the things you promised. And so share your knowledge or your process, and most of all, your deadlines and your process. Be specific. Share that with them. Maybe write them an email. Maybe have them write it down so they can know exactly what you want to do. And again, make sure that that person is filled with grace, because you're going to screw up. You're going to miss a deadline. You're going to have to postpone something. So make sure that you get along with that person and that you feel good about who they are. That's number 3. Number 4, realize that it will take twice as long and it'll be twice as hard to actually manage your time. So this is maybe a little bit more of a mindset thing than an actual practical tip. Anytime that you want to lose some weight or eat more healthy, or you want to start a new business, all of us, we underestimate how much time and how much energy it'll take, and certainly how much it'll cost. So you want to, from the beginning, basically just double the time that you think this project will take. The problem with trying to manage our time or trying to lose weight or get a new job is that we think it'll happen quickly because we're so awesome. Because, oh man, I've done this before. I know exactly what to do. It'll be a piece of cake. And guess what? Then when it doesn't happen and you can't meet that deadline, you get discouraged and you give up, and you then go through some 6-month cycle. You gain more weight and you get more depressed. So that's why this tip number 4 is so important. Realize that to manage your time, it'll take twice as long as you think. It'll be twice as hard. So try to set unrealistic deadlines. I always recommend that to people, especially visionaries, high achievers, creatives, people that want to change the world. I know that the wisdom is to set realistic expectations, but I think the opposite. Set unrealistic expectations or deadlines. So for example, if you want to lose 2 pounds, or well, let's say 10 pounds, I know most of you want to say, I'll do it in a month. That is just unrealistic. It'll take maybe 3 months. The average normal weight loss is about 2 pounds per month. And so you're talking about 4 to 5 months. Sure, there are some diets and some plans where you can lose 10 pounds in 1 month. But do you want to do that for the rest of the year and lose 120 pounds in 1 year? Of course not. So then think of it more as, if you want to lose 10 pounds, think of it as, I want to lose 10 pounds in the next 5 months. And you think, oh man, I'll never do anything then. I'll just relax. No way. Because when you actually realize how hard it is to lose 10 pounds, how long it takes, how it's 80% what you eat and only 20% what you do in the gym, then you will give yourself that grace that you need. Let's say the project is you want to spend more time with your family. You want to be more active with your kids. You want to spend more time at home, I don't know, just making dinner or fixing things around the house. So if you think that you're going to be able to learn new recipes overnight, give yourself twice the time. If you are wanting to build, I don't know, a shed in the backyard, you have some project, you want to fix your car, you have something at home that needs fixing, give yourself twice the time. It's going to take twice as long, because a lot of times things simply take twice. Not only takes longer, but they're harder than you expect. Let me give you a practical example from my own life that just happened about a month ago. So when it started to rain here really crazy in SoCal, our garage flooded, not horribly, but just enough where it became a mess. At the same time, my garage door opener, not the actual door, but the opener, fell apart and just stopped working. And so, typical me, I thought, well, I'll first clean up and dry up everything, and then I'll fix the garage door opener. I bought it, I got it out of the box, I looked at it, I began to get all the tools out. Long story short, it took me 3 months to realize that I just couldn't do it on my own. It just was too big of a project. And even though this and that, and I'm an engineer and I have some friends that help me with it, it just was sitting there. So I had to keep opening the garage door by hand. And one day my poor wife got her hand stuck in the thing, like, ow! That's when you know you need to do something and ask for help. Finally, what did I do? It wasn't just about that it cost a few $100. It really was just me not realizing how hard that really was. Finally, 3 months later, maybe it was even longer, I called the guy. He came. It took him a whole day. It wasn't easy. It was as hard as I thought. It only cost a couple $100, but now, boop, beautiful. The garage is perfect again. Life is good. My point is, you might be thinking, oh, I can do this in no time. I got it. I'll get my life together. I can do this. It's going to take you twice as long. Take time to think that through. That's number 4. So if you're tuning in late, these are the 5 tips to how to manage your time when you're not overly organized. So let me just check again the scoreboard here to see if we have anybody here watching us on Periscope, on YouTube. Always nice to have people on Facebook. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. So here we go. So the last tip on how to manage your time when you're not a very organized person, that is relax about your results. To really just relax about what it all looks like in the end. What are the results you're going to get? Here's really where I'm going with this. This is not your first rodeo, right? With trying to lose weight or to get a new job. You've done this before, and you've failed at it. You felt discouraged. Maybe you had some success, but it wasn't the success wasn't as great as you expected. So because of that, you're now discouraged. Relax about your results. You want to lose 20 pounds in 3 months? Relax about what actually happens. Think long term. Think about how am I going to get healthier? How am I going to eat less burritos and pan dulce? How am I going to spend a little bit more time with my children? Think about over the next 6 months, can I begin to think through how to leave my job and open a business? Can I think through how to spend more time at home fixing things that need fixing? Think long term. Think 12 months, 24 months. Think maybe for some of you, 6 months is long term. If you're like one of those crazy activators, you want to get things done right away. Think long term. Give yourself that grace. Relax about the results. I realize that some things you can relax about. You have to get that job. You need to get that fixed. Something is leaking. You need to get it done right away. So there are some things, of course, that need to happen like that. But other things, relax. If you want to get married and you want to find that perfect woman, give yourself time. God is the one who's working in your life. God is the one who's leading you down His path. It's not up to you to fix your body, your marriage, your church, your job, and your kids. You can't fix everything in your life. Not everything can happen in the same season at the same moment. There are seasons to everything in life. A lot of people want to balance everything. They want to balance a work and home and go to the spa and spend time with God and all these things. Instead of thinking of balance, think of it as seasons. Maybe right now you can't do everything, but you can do 2 of the 5 things. Maybe in the next season of life, once your kids are older or once you have more money, then you can accomplish the next 2 things. And maybe next year in 2018, you can accomplish the next 5 things. It could be even easier than that. Maybe you have 10 things on your to-do list. Instead of trying to accomplish all of them today, think, I'm going to accomplish the main 2 things this weekend. The main 2 things next weekend. Because guess what? Monday through Friday, you have to work 60, 70 hours. So you're not going to be able to go to the gym 5 hours and go and mentor kids after school every day like you want to. Give yourself time. Relax about the results. So those are the 5 tips, my friend. As I go, I want to just review them really quick. So again, if you're tuning in late, how to manage your time when you're not very organized. 5 tips. Set deadlines. Write out your process. Seek accountability. Realize it will take twice as long. And lastly, relax about the results. I love the verse where it says in Philippians 1 that God began a good work in you and He will complete it. He gave all of us different gifts. Some of us are better at one thing than another. Not everyone is amazing at details and administrating your life. Look to people that have that gift, spend time with them, and realize that you are gifted, that you are a winner, that you are a Gozo head, a Gozo Nation, part of this great Gozo Nation, Gozo family. Thank you, everybody, for being here with us, with me on this awesome day. Today is already, Thursday, March the 30th. One more day and we're into April. Remember that on April 16th is the best Sunday of the year. Come to my church, neighborhood churches down the street. A Church of Life is worth a drive from Bellflower, California. Look for all the details below. Thank you, everybody. Have a great rest of this day. Have a great rest of this week. Don't forget to share this video with a friend. Have a great rest of this month, and I will see you next time. Adiós. Vamos a bailar ahora. Vamos.